We elect Leah Patterson Lust, probate judge.
The probate judge has hearings to determine guardianship and conservatorship, adoptions, psychiatric commitments, and to settle all estates. 480 adoption hearings. I have held almost 2,500 hearings for probate cases.
Auto insurance is a specialty with Bill Floyd Insurance Agency. Talk to Bill about home mortgage loans for an affordable housing mortgage. Consider the State Farm College Savings Plan. Enjoy State Farm banking. Pay bills, save, deposit, get loans for a busy lifestyle. See Bill Floyd today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm and Bill Floyd Insurance Agency is there. Call or come by. Visit the Bill Floyd Insurance Agency, 409 6th Street Southwest, here in Coleman.
Inside Coleman County football continues from Hansel High School, Ray Talley Stadium. The home of the Hansel Bulldogs, currently the hottest team in Coleman County. As they come into week number 8, the Bulldogs have won 4 in a row. They're back in the race in the 3A Region 7 standings after last week going to Winston County and handing them their first loss of the season in regional play, 61-14. Now let's talk about what the Hansel Bulldogs have done in this span. They play great offense, but it's been the defense that's been the storyline for the 4-game winning streak. In that time, the Bulldogs have outscored the opposition 121 points to 30. In the 4-game winning streak, the Bulldogs have averaging, as far as their defense, giving up 1 touchdown per game. They have allowed only 1 touchdown in the first half of 4 ball games in this 4-game winning streak. Their defense has played well to give them early lead. How about 2 weeks ago when they was up on Winfield 6-0 at halftime? Last week at Winston County, they jumped out to a 28-0 halftime lead. So they've gone for a series of several quarters, excuse me, now playing pretty good defense. How about the last couple of weeks here? The Inside Coleman County Football and its sponsor, Martin Burchell Nationwide Insurance, has selected Hansel Bulldogs as top players of the week. 2 weeks ago, it was defensive back Bronte Harris who had 4 interceptions, including a 90-yard return for a touchdown in the win against Winfield. Last week, it was Dante Reese. Dante Reese had 2 interceptions, setting up a couple of touchdown drives. Also caught 3 passes for 89 yards and 1 score. Friday night is the Hansel Bulldogs and the Danville Hawks. The standings go like this week in 3A Region 7 with Hamilton on top at 5-0. Then you have Winston County at 4-1. It's the Hansel Bulldogs 3-2. They own the tiebreaker against the Vineman Eagles at 3-2. Danville is 2-3. And then it's Good Hope, Winfield at 1-5. So that's what the standings are this week in Class 3A Region 7. If the Hansel Bulldogs win Friday night, and also a win by Hamilton over Winston County, the Bulldogs will move into second place because they own the tiebreaker on the Winston County Yellow Jackets. But after an 0-3 start, Danny Miller and his team has rebounded and are playing very good football. The hottest team in Coleman County going into week number 8 of the 2012 regular season. Channel 2 Sports will be here to provide highlights of the game Saturday morning, and we look forward to that. It's the Hansel Bulldogs and the Danville Hawks 2012 homecoming Friday night, Ray Talley Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff from the campus of Hansel High School. We'll wrap up today's edition of Inside Coleman County Football after this on Channel 2 Sports.
Today's obituaries are brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Graveside services for Coralie McNeil, age 77, of Brandenburg, Kentucky, will be held at 3 p.m. today at the Union Hill Church of Christ Cemetery. Hansville Funeral Home is directing. Ms. McNeil passed away on Wednesday. Visitation will be held at the church from 1 p.m. until the time of service today. Funeral services for Florence Estelle Abercrombie, age 92, of Tucker, Georgia, will be tomorrow at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel, interment in Hopewell Cemetery. Ms. Abercrombie passed away on Wednesday. The family will receive friends on Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. at the funeral home. Funeral services for Howard Allen Hale, age 78, of Fairview, will be at 11 a.m. today at Arab Heritage Memorial Chapel. Gene Pinkert officiating, burial in the Concord Cemetery. Mr. Hale passed away on Tuesday. Funeral services for Ned Lee Bishop, age 87, of Coleman, who passed away on Sunday at his residence. A memorial service will be announced later. Coleman Heritage is in charge. Funeral services for Gladys Fincher Dunn, age 87, of Logan, will be on Monday at 1 p.m. at Pilgrim's Rest Church. Vernon Willis will officiate, interment in the adjoining cemetery. The body will lie in state from noon until the time of service. Coleman Heritage directing. Ms. Dunn passed away yesterday. A funeral mass for Mary Elizabeth Rosie Morgan of Coleman will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow at Sacred Heart Church. The Reverend Patrick Egan officiating, interment in Sacred Heart Cemetery. Moss Service in charge. Ms. Morgan passed away on Wednesday. Funeral services for Patricia Ann Quisenberry, age 62, of Coleman, will be at 3 p.m. today at Coleman Heritage Funeral Home Chapel. James Spiegel officiating, burial in Friendship Cemetery in the Upshaw community in the Addison area. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Friday, the 19th day of October. It's always an interesting day in our studio on Fridays.
That's very true.
Friday that's politics. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Let's start with the weather forecast. See what's happening this weekend. The weather brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. They're located on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Here's the weather almanac for today. The average high temperature is now 75. The average low is 45. Record high on this date, 89 in 2005, and the record low, 29, just 3 years ago in 2009. Sunrise this morning will be at 6:56, and sunset this evening, 7 minutes after 6. There's the satellite picture. And you can see the storm activity has moved through our area. We have one more satellite picture. And here's the weather forecast for today. Sunny and then clearing. No, it's going to stay sunny. Sunny today with a high near 70. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 43. Sunny and windy tomorrow, high of 68. And Sunday, 76. Next week, it'll be in the mid to upper 70s every day with plenty of sunshine. Beautiful weather as we go through the middle of October. Well, what do you have planned for this weekend, Paige?
Well, today I am going to take a brave chance, and my brother and I are actually going kayaking. I have never been river kayaking before. I've been to the Ocoee and done a whitewater rafting tour, but that's much different. You have a guide. So from that, Wade rented us a kayak when we went to the beach this summer, and I was not so good on the ocean kayak. I tumped it over several times, and he was a little angry because he's an expert at kayaking. He just bought a brand new playboat. So, and those are the really advanced ones that you have to wear a skirt for.
Okay.
So
you had a little problem with the waves?
I did. I was not the best ocean kayaker. So let's just hope that this goes well and that I don't drown.
Well, river kayaking should be a whole lot easier.
Yes, I think so too.
Don't have big waves.
I hope so, anyways, because ocean kayaking was not for me.
Now, where are you going kayaking?
At the Mulberry River.
Mulberry River. Wonder how deep that is.
I don't know. Wade told me he checked the water level. He's really into this kind of thing.
See, I would think the problem might be if it gets too low.
Right. Wade looked on, I guess it was Wednesday, and said that if it didn't rain, we couldn't go today. So it did rain, so we're good. We're in the clear, so it should be deep enough for us to get our boats in the water.
Wonder why he likes kayaking versus canoeing.
I don't know. I'd have to ask him that. It is very similar. But with a canoe, don't you need more than one person?
Not necessarily.
No.
I mean, the canoes work well with two people. But then will you have separate kayaks? Or
Yes, I will use Wade's old kayak, and he'll use his new playboat.
Okay. How far are you going to go? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. However far Wade wants to go, I guess.
And then, how do you get back?
Wade's car is going to be parked at the drop-off point, and my car is going to be parked at the end point.
Okay.
So I will just drive us back to the start point.
And then you carry the kayaks on the top of the car? Or
yes,
how do you do
Wade
that?
has a Jeep, so we are just going to tie the kayaks onto the top of his vehicle.
All right. Well, next week you can give us a report.
Yes.
How well it went. Paige and the kayak. Who's our Facebook friend of the day today?
Our Facebook friend of the day today is Karen Irvin Dennis, and she likes So You Think You Can Dance and Mamma Mia. So thank you so much for being our friend, Karen.
And let's talk about, this is Friday, that's politics. Who's here to see us today?
That's right. Jeremy Oden is here to see us, and I think they're going to talk a little bit about some amendments that are coming up. So
okay, we have our regular political panel. Let's remind you also about college football on TV tomorrow. People always, well, you never know from week to week which channel, which teams are going to be playing on. So Auburn at Vanderbilt kicks off at 11:20. And for the viewers on Charter Cable, this is on the CW21 station. That's channel 3, and the high definition channel is 703. Alabama plays at Tennessee tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. This is on ESPN. That is Charter Channel 29. High definition is 808. So you can watch the Tigers and the Tide early tomorrow or into the evening hours. We'll take a break right now and then have That's Politics right after this.
Children are the future of Coleman County. As a parent and grandparent, I understand the importance of their protection. As your probate judge, I will hear all cases involving our children with a caring heart for them to achieve the success they deserve.
Adoptions and conservatorships require a detailed knowledge of the law and a heart for children. Tammy Brown has both. That's why we're asking you.
November 6th, vote for Tammy Brown!
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
right, y'all, it's time for That's Politics on a Friday. Oh, boy. And, of course, we want to welcome our panel members, Tom Drake, Tom Burleson, and our guest this morning, Representative Jeremy Oden. But I think, Jeremy, before we get started, it's show and tell with Drake again. You know, he's got some of these pictures in.
I think it's an interesting picture, too.
Well, I know, but only in Coleman County could do this. Show us that picture, Tom, and tell us what that picture is about.
Got the presidential seal on it, you see here. And then when you open it up here, it says, please accept this photograph on behalf of President Obama and President Clinton as a symbol of their thanks and appreciation for your ongoing support. And then turn over here where you can see the...
Hold that up toward the camera, where Teddy is.
This picture better, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. And they're in an embrace, I see.
Yeah, they're in an embrace, and
need I say more?
Mr. Clinton, you know, when he went out, he had a balanced budget. Remember that?
I remember that, yeah. Now, which one of them is running for president?
We got one running for president, too, there in that picture, so I want you to know that. And he clobbered that Mr. Mitt the other night on television.
Well, now that's all in perspective.
That's right.
We'll have to pull out the D's and the R's this morning,
the worst one's going to be Monday night, because that's the night that Mr. Mitt is going to have to tell us what happened in Europe when he went over there and they ran him out of Europe for talking bad about them folks over there in foreign relations.
You think then our president will tell us what really happened in the So it's going to be a truth or tale night, right?
Right, yeah.
What do you think about those comments by Arthur Davis and about the Democrat Party in Alabama, how he feels they've left the people?
Well, I don't think too much of Arthur Davis.
Arthur left the state.
Yeah, he left the state. He got out.
He got out.
Well, he could see which way the wind was blowing.
Yeah, right.
That's about right with Arthur. I have to say that. He likes the way the wind blows.
He ought to stay here and let it blow.
He should have stayed here and let it blow. Of course, in Alabama, that wind's been blowing powerfully lately.
And you wait till storm comes in November. Oh, gosh. Well,
so this Laurel and Hardy this morning, is that where we're at?
It must be, Jeremy. Boy, we got all kinds of things to talk about this morning.
Sure.
Locally, when I say locally, talking about Alabama, talking about amendments that are going to be on the ballot.
Right. This ballot actually, I think, could be labeled the amendment ballot. There's not really much on the ballot. It's a first time that we don't have a lot of elections on the ballot. I mean, you look here on the election side, and most of them are single-named individuals, and so, in that case, you either mark that one. But we are a free society, and I think that you understand that every race you have to receive at least one vote. I mean, you have to have the majority.
Is that right?
So it doesn't matter if you don't have say Republicans running and there's a Democrat, or a Democrat running and no Republican, that scenario. Whoever that is in the general election has to appear on the ballot, and they have to actually have a vote in that general election. So, but the good thing about our free society as well, and there's been some historical preferences where write-ins win. And so we're going to get Mickey Mouse probably to win a few of these elections, because usually he receives more write-ins than any other write-in in the state. But basically, that's true. I mean, you have the right to vote for who you want in that position. Right. And if it's a party person, then they're going to be listed on the ballot. And if you want to vote for a third party, they're not on the ballot. If you want to vote for yourself, you could actually write your name in that position. And then you're still voting. Yeah. The biggest key on this is to vote. I think the turnout is going to be... only thing on the ballot is going to be the presidential one, so that's going to pull a lot of people in. I still think it's still going to be a mediocre turnout in Alabama.
I'm wondering how, Jeremy, the Democrats are going to know which one is theirs, because I don't see that jackass on there anymore.
Well, I won't go any further.
What? I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that. And why did y'all?
The 5-second delay was on that last word. But no, they.
What happened to the mule? What happened to the mule?
What happened to the
George, we kept that elephant off that ballot for 40 years.
So now the elephant's predominant, so y'all don't want to be on it anymore.
That's right.
So if you're comfortable with living in the past,
I'll make one mark.
You'll make one mark. You won't vote for but one on that one mark. You'll be all right there, Tom.
But no, I'm going to vote on that amendment. That's one of the best things ever happened to Coleman County.
I just want to look at really and truthfully at the ballot. It's amazing to me in this country. A lot of people think that, Obama and Romney are the only presidential candidates out there. And, we're sitting with 5 on our ballot.
See, that goes on. Who are these people?
Exactly. You don't really realize, people are going to go in there and look for Obama or Romney, but you've got 3 other people listed on Alabama's ballot for presidential nominations.
I can't think of a
you come in there. Well, now I'll have to get my.
Oh,
this thing is small. I don't know why they started reducing.
They're wasting their time.
Well, and a lot of people say that, but it still shows that if you are a third person, you can still get on it.
Yeah.
You have, of course, you have Virgil Goode. I think he's on just about every single presidential race that there is.
Where's he from?
He's totally an independent. He's from out west. I forget which, but I think it may be the Green Party that he usually runs underneath. So then you have the Gary Johnson and Jim Gray, and they're listed as an independent, but they're actually the their name just left me. Libertarian Party, and they're running as a Libertarian. Now, Gary Johnson, though, was the governor. I forget which. I think it may have been New Mexico. He was actually governor of. So he's actually probably going to be in. A lot of these people are less than 1%. He'll probably be over 1%. He'll be one of the candidates statewide. He's on 49 different ballots. So you have to get on the ballot according to the state's rules about presidential stuff. And then you've got the Steele and I don't know who they are.
Goodness gracious.
Jill Stein and Sherry Hunkalaka.
What'd you say?
Must be from Alaska, I guess.
Well, it ain't no elephant. It ain't no elephant or a donkey, I'll tell you that. But I don't know which one that is, but people don't realize. That's the only reason I wanted to point that out.
Sure.
So that, you come in here and you think, wow, you got Mitt Romney, and then they're going to look at the presidential section and they're going to say, well, who are all these people?
Right.
And you can get on the presidential ballot in the United States. You don't have to be a billionaire in order to do it. It's simple getting names and signatures. So whatever that state requires for you to be on that ballot as a presidential candidate, that's what you have to meet. Some of them are less than 1% of the previous election cycle, so that's why some can really, really and truthfully go. So, but then we do have some races in Alabama, and I mean, I'm talking a little bit about races now because we're coming into it. We're less than 3 weeks away from the race, so
it's right around the bend.
It's been 100 years,
right? And so a lot of people think that I'll just be honest, and there's nothing saying. I've worked for 20 years in the Republican Party to see a ballot like this. I'm not going to sit back and say I don't like to see it.
Sure.
But there's some Democrats on the ballot, and a lot of people may be thinking, what do you do? So our congressional district is challenged this time around.
Hey, now let me ask you this. Now I know we're getting close to the end of this first segment here, but we'll have plenty of time later to talk about it. The story this morning about Adderholt's opposition, his opponent. His opponent is making allegations that Robert Adderholt is gay. Did you see that? I mean, that's just this morning.
I didn't see that.
Well, they've dusted that off, haven't they? I haven't heard that in a while.
Wow.
It seems like every candidate usually has that sort of after. Tom was gay at one time. He just won't say it.
Well,
tell us about that.
Hey, let me tell you about something. If you remember, what about that George Wallace Albert Brewer?
That's right. Yes.
What was that about? I was out way in the military. I think.
Well, it was.
One was gay and the other wasn't.
Well, that's what was being told.
Oh yeah, we've all had to face something on that line.
So it seemed to work in that race.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, if you can't say anything good about your opponent, call him gay. That mentality's been out there for a while. I don't mind saying, you know, and that's sad to do. But
and we want to remind our viewers we're trying to be politically correct.
We are.
Morning.
I am. Yeah. There's nothing against anything on that line. It's just sometimes it's wrong and lying. You know, you can't lie.
As long as you got a democratic society, you'll have that.
Yeah, you will. And then that's the freedom of the press.
That's
the
right.
freedom of the,
That's right.
And so let's move on. Of course, Robert has opposition, but now one of the, and I won't say it before y'all before the next election, I don't think. One of the most contested, I think, statewide races, of course, is going to be our Chief Justice race. And there's a lot of choices in there, and I think that's going to be a serious race.
Well, that's what's her name running?
Well, you've got Daniel. That's Bob Vance and Roy Moore is the two candidates.
That lady, her husband, Baxley.
Yeah, she's on down, but I think that's one of the. That's going to be the hottest, I guess.
It'll be the hottest one.
State race. Poll is showing it's pretty well, even, really? And so. It's going to be time. Money has, going around like this, and it's about split between those two candidates. So that's the thing. Of course, the Democrats, pulled a candidate and put a new candidate on their ballot. So you got that, and fellas, I don't want to say they don't speak up if you want to. Sure, yeah.
Jeremy, got to take a quick.
Then we'll do our amendments. I'll get on to that
after this.
Advance Republican?
No, he's dead.
Old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. And I humbly ask the voters of Coleman County to please look at my record. Look at the things that I've accomplished during this term in office. And to please consider voting for me as I seek re-election in November of 2012. Thank you so much for your consideration.
All right, we're back with Representative Jeremy Oden. We're talking about a number of issues. Before we get into amendments, though, Jeremy, this race between Roy Moore and who's the
Bob Vance.
And Bob Vance. It seems to me with as many people who are just using expletives and saying they're going to vote straight Republican, that Moore would have a good chance of winning this.
Yeah, I think that is going to make a big pull. There's going to be a lot of straight lever votes, and that's going to go back to your presidential race.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why most people are going to go in there. And these fellas, we've seen voting now. These fellas seen it for 60 years. I've seen it for 40 years. And you've seen it. They go in there and do the easy thing, and they're only in there to vote for the president. And usually they'll just pull that one lever.
Well, and it makes it more.
That does, and it carries through the ballots. But let me talk about straight lever voting real quick. Now there is you can mark this top ballot, but if you go down below and mark a thing, that's going to be,
that counts too, right? Even though you mark straight ticket,
all the other blanks will be counted as whatever you mark your straight lever as.
Okay, But you said you could go down. What were you meaning by that?
You could go down and, like, if you wanted to vote for an individual, you can do that, actually, vote for that individual.
But not after voting straight ticket Republican, right?
You know, that, I wish y'all had the Secretary of State on. I'll check with y'all and y'all can announce that. I think that's the way
there were some provisions a few years ago.
I think if I think they have it now, though. If you mark one, but you go down, you have to count what the intent of the vote was. That came out of the Gore-Bush problem early 2000. So you have to count what the intent was. And so I think what happens now, if you go down and actually mark a name, that name is counted. I'm not for sure on that. We'll check with Leah and find out.
Leah was talking about this a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's what she said, but I'm not going to swear to it.
So, and then locally, then we got another contested race. Then that's, of course, our public service for president, Lucy, well-known name, 100% name recognition against Twinkle Kavanaugh. And so they're running there, and that's another one. So, and then locally, I don't think we have but one race locally, and that is the probate judges race. We mentioned Leah and Tammy Brown. I guess we better be equal. And Tammy's running. She's, they both are great ladies. I don't. That race is a close race as far as I'm concerned.
I don't believe it'd be close.
I think it's close. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You don't think?
There's some polls been taken and showed it was close.
Well, they always come in. Local politics is a lot different, and there's a lot of split tickets on.
What has happened though in the past 2 years since someone like who was our coroner? Murphy. Gary Murphy didn't do anything to anybody except do his job and do what he was supposed to, and he lost because people voted straight Republican, in my view. So I don't know that anything has changed, There's just going to be one person, and that's going to be Lee.
And I don't think you're wrong in that, George. I think that 2010 wave is still there, and it's still going to carry over.
Coleman County still has a reputation, in my opinion, of voting for the man. Mm-hmm. More so than any other county.
Except in the last race.
The last race. I think
in the last 2010, there was a straight party, big time, and that may be simply because of the president and how we feel locally and nationally about him, and that's going to take effect since he's on the ballot this time. I think.
You got some places in the United States that's changing. You got some places that there's possibility that there's going to be some senators and representatives elected. Mm-hmm. Democrats, I'm talking about.
I think so. Nationally now, you can't say that there's going to be a straight lead.
Not in Alabama. It didn't change in Alabama.
We better get started with amendments, guys.
Sure. And this, like I said, this is a lot of amendments on the ballot. And a lot of times when you have a lot of amendments, most of them are local. They pertain to the local entity. But on this one, it's different. The most of these are statewide effective amendments. In other words, you vote yes or no on these, it's going to change the laws. And a lot of them you have to do that way. You have to put it in because it may be a constitutional requirement that the people make the decision. So that's something. And the first one is a prime example of that. And Tom, you'll remember this one. It's the Forever Wild renewal. It's the number one amendment on there, and what we are doing Forever Wild is you set aside 20 years ago, Tom?
Yeah.
A part of the ATF, the Alabama Trust Fund, at that time it was the Oil and Gas Fund.
Right.
They set aside a portion of that before it is even distributed to the state to go into a fund to purchase lands for public use. And that's what Forever Wild is. It was a 20-year plan. That 20 years is up, and so it's up on the ballot this time for renewal. So they go in actually and purchase private land, usually large masses of land, and make them in for public use.
Okay, let's say that I'm the voter, and I say, you've asked me to increase our sales tax in Coleman County for schools, and you're going to go buy trees? Land?
Well, this is not tax money, so you have to look at it that way. This is the revenue off of the oil and gas and all of that coming out of the Gulf and off of our coal fields.
How much are we talking about? Any idea?
It's about $2.6 billion right now on the fund. 2.1, 2.6, somewhere. I forget the exact number.
There'll always be a cost on it too.
But you'll pull, they annually pull a percentage off of the top and give it to the wild guys every Forever Wild, the Wild Guys, Forever Wild. I better get that.
Don't forget the girls. They're called
Wild Girls and Wild Guys.
It's for the use of everybody.
But it is, and it is I like the program. They turn it into mostly hunting land.
Okay.
But the Walls of Jericho in North Alabama. You remember when that went through a couple of years? They used Forever Wild land to make that public land. So it's not a state park per se, but it is lands that's set aside for public.
So you have a lot of it, and I believe Marshall County's got some.
I think Marshall's got around the lake. They have a lot of it.
You support this amendment?
Yeah, I support Forever Wild. Sure, I do.
I do too.
I think that it's a good program. It keeps our hunting lands. It keeps us a place to hunt. Really, that's the fundamental line behind it.
Okay.
It's not really a thing. You know, you've got some pristine stuff out there, and they can do it. So, and then number 2, let's go on to it. This is actually what the governor is pushing again on it. This is the bond issue. What it says is we, on the amendment that we passed underneath the Siegelman administration and redid underneath the Riley, it allows for economic development up to $750 million out of the bond issue money. So this, what we do, say you're a company and I set aside $200 million of that for your company and you don't use it all. Okay, you use 150, 160 million. There's still $40 million left, but that's set aside for your company. Your company's not going to use it. Well, economically, we can't use that, unless we go back in there and pass it. So what this will do is actually allow us to use that money into another economic development area. Now, that's a small, brief definition of it, and that pretty well was what it does. It allows for that extra money to really go back into that fund. It's not increasing the ATF in any way or anything like that. It's just allowing us economically to use that money
anywhere in Alabama.
No, it has to be now for economic development.
But
it's
as far as
set
affected counties.
Right.
It could be
anywhere in the state. Yeah. So, say one of our companies, one of our big plants wanted to go in and do a huge expansion or something like that, then this money can be used that.
Okay.
This money was the ThyssenKrupp money. If you go back, it also was the Mercedes money, the ThyssenKrupp money, and so now they're wanting to sort of transfer that into EADS and some other big projects that we've got. So we can't do that. Yes, will be that.
Oh, I'm for that very much. Yeah.
Tom knows what this. This is our arm. This is our recruiting arm. This amendment, and so we really, it really is.
And it's paying off. We can see it locally.
Oh, sure. We get benefits. Coleman gets benefits really quickly. I know. Are we coming up on a break?
Give me a couple of minutes left.
The next amendment is local. It's pertaining to Baldwin County. Just ignore it that somebody voted no and put it on the ballot. So. That's what happens. Amendment 4 is there's 1, 2, 3 amendments on this that actually are constitutional changes. Now, you're going to hear some radio spots on these. This takes out some racist language that we have in our thing. It's just language change. It's not really changing any laws. It's just pulling that racist language out and doing it in a modern tone. It's going to help us nationally because, it pulls that out of our Constitution and nobody can point to the Constitution.
AEA's against that, isn't it?
So, no, I don't think they are.
AEA's against one of them.
I forget which one they are, but I'm not sure. Oh, I know which one they are. That would be Amendment 6. That would be Obamacare.
Yeah.
Bill what? That's an Obamacare bill. Amendment 6 simply states that you cannot be forced, any employer or anybody like that, to take the Obamacare or the health care initiative for them. So we are voting in the state of Alabama.
Is that one of those, really?
So, yes,
I thought you were joking, but you're honest.
No, it's the amendment to prohibit, and I'll read it, to prohibit any person, employer, or health care provider from being compelled to participate in any health care system. So it's, it's on there.
Now, one of those, Jeremy, I think is one of those you just mentioned. There's a group against it because they think that if the language is removed that regarding schools, that the legislature or the state will not be under the gun to provide funding.
Yeah, and there's some. I'm thinking that may be a 9 down here.
Okay.
But basically, there's some in there that's a constitutional change. So you want to look at those. and make sure.
We need to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about these amendments in the second
fine.
half. We'll be back.
The most common type of adoption hearing that I have here in Coleman County is a step-parent adoption. It's a very happy day when I get to sign the papers and make official, make legal what occurred in the heart of that step-parent the day he or she became the loving parent. Those important decisions happen each and every day for me as probate judge.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Welcome back to Today on 2. It's time to give away some prizes. Let's see what we have for prizes this Friday. We have the meal special for 2 at High Tide Sports Grill. We have yogurt for 2 at 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar. Those are the prizes we have for today. Let's look at our merchant ads, and we'll ask you a question about one of these ads, starting with 32 Degrees Yogurt Bar. Tomorrow, you can enter to win free yogurt for a year. 32 customers will win tomorrow, and they'll be doing karaoke 6 till 8 o'clock.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Doggett Jewelers. Sorelli is an antique-inspired jewelry, and that's why you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers on Compass Way, Southwest in Coleman.
Mullins Body Shop, located at Phelan on Highway 31 South. 52 years of auto body repair and towing. You can still count on them today. That's Mullins Body Shop.
Fitness opportunities are available at the Wellness and Aquatic Center. We have a 6-lane competition pool, full fitness center, indoor rubberized walking track, and a variety of aerobic and cycling classes. Day passes are available. Come and visit us.
Sweet deals available at Dairy Queen. Pick any 2 items, pay just $3.33. The blizzard of the month for the month of October is pumpkin pie.
High Tide Sports Grill on Highway 31 next to Burgess Body Shop. Friday night is shrimp night and Saturday night is barbecue baby back ribs, so go out and see them this weekend.
Hanceville Guns and Ammo, where prices are lower on a wide variety of guns, ammo, and reloading supplies. Hanceville Guns and Ammo, see Paul or Stephen Harper. They're across from Hanceville City Hall.
Open the door to history and fine prints. We're talking about Renard's Gallery and Gifts. They offer jewelry, framing, and prints. You can visit them online at renardsgallery.com or give them a call, 739-5997.
And Cosmic Sound DJs, 26 years in the entertainment business. They are your wedding DJ specialists. Call Big D or Wild Bill.
And it's time for Halloween fun at It's My Party. Costumes for all ages, balloons, party supplies, and more. Also, it's home of Lulu the Gorilla, so book her for any of your Halloween events. It's My Party.
Baldwin Counseling Center, Dr. Howard Rogers says help is a phone call away. Give him a call, 256-737-3087. That's the Baldwin Counseling Center. And those are some of the merchant ads we have for today. Our question for today is about 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar. They are giving away tomorrow yogurt for a year. And how many winners will they have?
Oh,
How many people will win Yogurt for a Year at 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar, tomorrow? 256-734-7399 is our telephone number. First person with the correct answer receives the meal special for two at High Tide Sports Grill and yogurt for two at 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar. Hello, who's calling?
It's Danny.
From where are you calling?
Coleman.
All right. How many winners will there be at 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar?
32.
32. He got that figured out. Stay on the line, please. Thanks for calling in. Wonder how they came up with 32.
I don't know.
It's kind of a puzzle. Let's look at the rest of our merchant ads right now. Starting with Deb's Bookstore, your hometown bookstore just down the road. Used books half price every day. New books are 20%, even special orders, 20% off at Deb's Bookstore.
Coleman's only professional full-service plumbing, sewer, and drain company is Mr. Plumber. They're locally owned and operated and offer free estimates on new construction and fast 24-hour service. Mr. Plumber in Coleman.
Mr. Hicks Menswear has suits and sport coats in regular, big, and tall sizes. They can fit any of the men. Casual shirts all the way up to size 5X at Mr. Hicks Menswear.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Doggett Jewelers. Sorelli is an antique-inspired heirloom jewelry, and that's why you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers on Crawford's Way, Southwest Coleman.
And join us tomorrow at 32 Degrees, a yogurt bar. As we mentioned, free yogurt for a year. 32 customers will win, and that is tomorrow. Open at noon until 11 p.m.
The Uniform Place has fabulous fall styles and inspired looks for new style at work. They have new work outfits and flexible styles at the Uniform Place.
Tires for Less is more than just tires. They have 80 years experience in servicing cars. Of course, they do oil changes, repair shocks and brakes, or replace those. Mention this so that you saw this ad on Channel 2. They'll give you $5 off an oil change.
The Career Earls Body Shop wants to remind you to move over for all emergency vehicles. Earls Body Shop offers large and small towing, local or long distance. Earls Body Shop on Highway 31 North.
And the Tutor Doctor can help you or help the students with math, reading, ACT preparation, and much more. Free consultation is available. They're on the internet, inhometutors-alabama.com.
Savor the experience of savings with Yates Chance Christian Bookstore. There's $25 off the New King James Study Bible, and also they have the new My Media program that copies artist CDs and custom songs, accompaniment tracks coming soon.
And you can save as much as 50% with the new Hydro Master tire available in Coleman at People's Tires. This is a remold tire, but it looks and wears just like a new tire. Those are the merchant ads we have. Now it's time to check our birthdays for today and this weekend.
That's right, and Tina Hermit's birthday is this weekend. I know Tina, and happy birthday to her. Tony Hermit and Ben Pruitt also celebrate a birthday on this Friday. On Saturday, Alex Bentley celebrates a birthday. And on Sunday, James Rogers and Bill Weisenhunt celebrate a birthday. And now it's time to draw for our 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and our ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
Okay, here's our birthday winner for this week, Beverly Carnes. And I believe Beverly's birthday was on Monday. That's our birthday winner, and here's our anniversary.
We have Jamie and Heather Bryan celebrating a birthday on this Friday, so happy anniversary to you.
And they're also the winner of our anniversary certificate from the Candle Garden. Let's check the weather forecast, brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Sunny today, high near 70. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 43. Sunny and breezy tomorrow with a high near 68.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Premier Bank is asking for your vote. We want to be your bank. Our platform is simple, service that no other bank can offer. We're locally owned and operated, and that means we make decisions right here. So vote today for Mom, Apple Pie, and Premier Bank. I'm Jay Mullins, and I approve this message.
I designated myself and one cell phone number. The cell phone number that I have is the one contact number that is available for the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, Coleman Regional Medical Center, and any individual that is in need of contact with the probate office for psychiatric commitments after hours on holidays and weekends.
We're back with Representative Jeremy Oden. We're talking about the ballot coming up in November and what the amendments will be.
Let's run through them real quick so everybody knows. So we can go back. Go back and talk. Of course, we talked about the health care amendment. That's on there. The next one is the change to, and this is an important amendment as well, is to make sure that we vote secret ballot, and that there's voting procedure set up for secret ballot. So it goes in there and change any issue.
Any issue.
So it allows secret ballot where it's a union secret ballot, or whether it's a public secret ballot or anything like that. It does allow for a secret ballot.
What draws the line between public and running?
This doesn't really say you have to have a secret ballot. It just says you can if you want, if somebody deems a secret ballot. So it really plays along with either Mason's or Robert's rules, but it says that there's some, not in Alabama, but this was a national debate a couple of years ago where unions said it's not going to be a secret ballot. You're going to vote publicly. And so basically this is what this is doing. It's just clarifying the language. It's really not, it's just clarifying that there can be a secret ballot.
Are you for or against?
I'm for this one.
Okay.
I mean, that's.
All right.
I think that it's our private right to vote and to keep that private. The next is the big one. That's the legislative pay raise. It's on here. It's going to be on here. It does decrease the pay. Right now, it brings it down to what we call the middle or the medium middle household income for the state. So that's what it ties it to. So whatever that is pretty well what it's going to be. So it does decrease the pay, but then it does something that this is probably what we should have done really. It comes back around and allows that legislator to track his expenses and his travel. And so you can turn that in and get reimbursed for that. So we're going from $10 a day in salary to actually a salary change in the Constitution. Getting away from this, expenditure that we get, you get a living expense, or not living, it's really an office expense every month, and it's around $3,700, and your pay is $10. So it's taking all that mess out and come back and correcting it and saying ours will be associated around the $40,000 range, now a little less than that, whatever the median household income is. And then where it's going to pay is if you live further away from Montgomery.
Right.
So, like if I have to travel more to Montgomery, then I can take that travel expense and turn it in and get that back. Within your district, you don't get that back. You can't register, the travel expense within your district, but you can if you go to other districts and other things on legislative matters. So it allows you to actually have a true record of expenses and a true salary. So that's what it's doing. Some cases, there's some legislators, that will get paid more money. Because I have a friend that lives in DeKalb. Well, that's almost Fort Payne's almost in Chattanooga. So when he goes to Montgomery, he's going. But it costs him more money. But now the others who live around Montgomery, especially if the capital's within your district, then you don't get any travel expense. So see, you're going to the capital within your district. So it gives us sort of an equal base of what you pay out is pretty well what you're going to get. Now the big thing is, and you're going to see probably some of this, is all of us really don't know how to keep up with expenses, and a lot of legislators are not going to know. And you're going to sit there and we don't know what a travel log is. Some of us have no clue. I know what a travel log is, but some of them have no clue what a travel log is. And you got to keep that travel log, and you got to do all that. So it's going to be a little bit of a different measure. So
are you supporting that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll support it. It don't matter to me. Public service, pay us. If not, then, I think we should be compensated. Tom's always said this. You got to be compensated for what you put in. And, you can't do this job. You can't go to Montgomery and spend a night in a hotel for $110, and that's the, 85 is the average. And so, it is expensive when you go and have to live away from home for about 4 months. So that's a whole thing there.
I stayed in the legislature 32 years down there. I did not get a pension, didn't get 1 cent pension, but every year I was down there for 32 years, I put in bills to try to get pensions for Alabama, because Alabama and California is the only 2 states in the United States that don't have pension for legislators.
Right, and this does not set up anything on that line.
And the reason to California, the people voted the California out, on that vote they had, because they were taking too much. They were being hoggish. But Alabama...
we get no health insurance or no pension benefits in our
right.
South. People don't. That's a big thing. You always hear, you got big old... thing, my phone's going off right on the microphones. I better stop it. That we don't get health insurance and stuff like that. But we're part-time.
Unless you have a job on the side, it's hard to live.
And again, this amendment is not talking about.
No, this just changed the compensation. There's nothing on that line. It drops that. Everybody was worried about 67% increase, all that little pay raise issue. Well, this is the answer to it, and it's a good answer.
You know what the people say? The people say you knew what you was making for you when you were running.
Yeah, and that's true. That's all right.
I don't think I ever lost a vote for voting every time for a pay raise, because most people knew and needed it. When I went down there, it was 205 Club, we call it. You got $205 a week. And you can't live on that. I had to come back every night. I had to go and come so I can make a living practicing law up here.
Yeah. All right, let's go real quickly because I know we're getting close. The other two is a constitutional change, of course, and that's one of them is a corporation change. It's having to tweak some corporate laws, basically, to put the privilege. We have a little problem with the privilege license tax part, and so it's a correction on that. So I'd recommend voting yes on that one.
Okay.
Then the other one, of course, is the banking change. Same thing. We're taking some language out on the banking department of the codes and looking at it. So people need to research those. I know we're going quick. Then the last one is a local one for Lawrence County. We don't need to, that's a Lawrence County decision. I always say just ignore them and go on. The final one, unless you want to go back and talk about the other one.
Let's get to the final one. Then if we have time, we'll do that. What do you say?
The final one, of course, is our amendment. And we did not, thank goodness, get it put on a statewide. This is only going to be in Coleman County.
So only Coleman County is going to vote on
yes, and we were so thankful.
If it had been statewide,
it had been like Lawrence County and Baldwin County on here. It had been up here and everybody had voted on it, and more of the chances. And most everybody votes no's on these. I think most of them are yeses. But research, know what you're voting on. I always say that. And if you don't know, give me a holler. I'll try to explain it and go on. But our last one is our education amendment. Billy Coleman has worked excellently on this. He has done a great job. He found some land that is what we call Section 16 land. It's set aside for schools. It's in prime Smith Lake property land. And so by Alabama's Constitution, it's set aside for the local school board use, but they can't use it. So it's a cumbersome law. You got to have it school. The only way we could use it is put a school out there. Well, we're not going to cross the lake and put a school.
Right.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. So we want to take the land, and Billy has worked excellently. I have to mention him as much as I can because he's done such a good job on this. And invest that property back into the economic factors of where we are at and allow the school to actually receive benefits off of it.
And that was the whole idea.
That's it. Yeah. And so that is a yes. That is a yes, 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 yes. I don't care what you do on the last ones. If you go to this Coleman County section, vote yes.
Well, that's for the school children of Coleman County.
It is for the county school system.
Right.
So you need to,
Well, the city gets their part
it's
out of
not
it,
a
too.
tax. This is an economic development tool that actually the proceeds goes to the schools.
Yeah.
And that's big.
And that's what I think most people want. What really I think is interesting on this ballot is I don't see the wet-dry issue for Coleman County.
And why would you bring that up, George?
Well, I was thinking that they were talking, the Coleman Times and all these stories. Yeah.
It sort of fizzled, hasn't it?
What about that?
I don't think they got enough votes in time in order to get on the ballot.
And there's no way they're going to get it on before the end of the year, right?
No, you have to have an election.
You have to have an election.
So you have to have. There has to be an election in order to get it on, and it has to be a countywide election.
And you have to get
so
the
the
necessary
next one,
people to sign the petition, too.
unless there's a special election, then the next one's 2014.
Okay. We're out of time, gentlemen.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thank you
Representative
very
Oden, for
much.
coming to
Appreciate
visit
it.
us.
Good job.
All right.
These two gentlemen over here, wonderful guys.
They are. We enjoy it every Friday morning. For today on 2, that's politics. Fire, accident, storm. They all happen in Coleman County. And for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with auto owners. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Karen. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference.
Well, howdy doody, kids, and hiya, Misty Smith. Well, hi there, little howdy doody, and hi, Clarabelle, and look at all the boys and girls there at home. Hi, kids, and kids in the gallery. What time is it? Hiya! Okay, let's sing it. It's howdy doody time. It's howdy doody time. Like Smith and howdy do. Say howdy do to you. Let's skip around and cheer. What howdy doody dear. It's time to start the show. So
If you're looking for the ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from 2 big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear. But we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. The Women's Ministry Annual Fall Bazaar will be Saturday, October the 27th from 7 to 1 at the Welty Cumberland Presbyterian Church Fellowship Hall. Proceeds to benefit their missions and projects. The Monster Dash 5K and Monster Mile will be Saturday, October the 27th at the Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center. Monster Mile will be at 8 a.m. and the Monster Dash 5K will be at 5:30. Costumes, prizes, and more for all winners. Pilot Club Rummage Sale will be at the Coleman Fairgrounds Exhibit Hall Friday, October the 29th from 7 to 4 and October the 27th, 7 to 2. Proceeds go to support the Pilot Club of Coleman. Steel Orchard presents the return of the Boogeyman's Barn October the 19th through 20th, 26th through 27th, and of course on Halloween night. Give them a call, 734-5249 for more information. If you'd like to email us a community billboard, please send it to channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax it to 256-734-7680, or friend us on Facebook, Channel 2 Coleman.
The weather forecast for today, it will be another sunny day with a high around 70, partly cloudy tonight, low of 43, sunny and windy tomorrow with a high near 68. And we remind you that we stream the program live on the internet. Channel2Coleman.com is the website to go to. You can watch the show live every day. And, of course, we archive the programs on YouTube. Go to the same website. You can see previous programs. Coming up on Monday, who's going to be with us?
Judy Nelms will be with us. She's from It's My Party. She's going to talk about all the costumes that she has available for rent. Also, David Osment will be here visiting with us. He is talking about the Republican National Convention. He actually got to go this year, so that's a very exciting thing to hear about. And also, Robin Lambert will be co-hosting with me because Dennis and Jacqueline will be out. So that will be lots of fun. The return of Robin Lambert on Monday, everyone.
Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching today on 2.
Have a great day.